everyone. Welcome to the Nivedita and Dianne show. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for today. I am just going to sit back and enjoy this. So, welcome, Nivedita.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here as usual.
Yes, it's been a while.
Seems like it's been a while, doesn't it? Yes.
Feels like it's been a while, definitely. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Nivedita Saraswati, as you can see on the screen, and I am the owner and director of my virtual healing center, which is an online healing center here in Melbourne, Australia, or coming from Melbourne, Australia. And my expertise is using many, many modalities to help you be your best self, and that includes holistic weight management. Which is combined with kinesiology and beauty tips, so that it's a holistic thing, so that every part of you is taken care of, so that you can be what you want to be in this life. So I hope you join me soon.
Absolutely, and you should join her. It's incredible the things that she knows. And for those who don't know me, my name is Dianne Ojar. I'm the owner of Other Media Network, but also the founder of Ignite Your Business, the founder of The Elephant in the Room. I do timeline therapy, NLP. We're going to be talking a lot of those things today in regards to how the brain works. And pretty much, I work with clients who are ready to invest in themselves. I work with people who are ready to get over the challenges, because you can get over challenges, those obstacles. I know Nivedita does the same thing in a different way. I do it in a slightly different way as well. But we welcome you all to come out. We have many free sessions. We have one coming up on Friday, and we're going to be talking about the brain and how that works. And I'm going to share some things with you, a little peek in a moment about that. But also, I'd like to introduce the Sammy. Sammy is going to, like, if you look closely, you see Sammy, one part is pure skeleton and one part shows all the muscles. Sammy is going to be, from time to time, visiting us and working with us in some of our trainings and sessions as well. It's quite incredible. He's squishy and he can come apart there as well. And he have a little tweezers to dissect him and so forth. So I'm hoping that, we'll get more information on this coming up this Friday. And we look forward to seeing you there, because really and
Yes,
truly,
yes.
and say,
Anatomy is miraculous. Your body, your cells are we're actually a miracle. We don't realize how miraculous we are until we delve inside the physical body and find out what makes us tick. So it's well worth coming along for that.
absolutely. And here is what I was saying to Nivedita and many other cool people I've been chatting with. It's the fact that we hear healing. Well, in NLP, I can't say healing. As a Dell hands practitioner, I can say healing, which is really ironic. But the thing about it is, too, if we really want to learn how to transform, reprogram our mindsets, our blueprint, there's work to be done. And there's no magic wand or pill that's going to do it. So if you're waiting for that to happen, you may have some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some help. You may have some healing or transformation, I should say, sorry. But you have things to do. So unless you understand what sits behind the engine in your body, which is the brain, by the way, not the heart, you'd be surprised what you learn. And we're going to go through some of that for you to have a better understanding of where the fear comes from, the anxiety, and so much emotions. We did a session about critical thinking. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the critical thinking session. You did attend that one, correct? I hope I was right.
I'm pretty sure I did, yes.
The one that was last week, Tuesday, and that just blew people off their mind. It's because, again, we don't think about what goes in, because at the end of the day, it's all about information. It's all about, and by the way, for someone had said to me, NLP, hypnotherapy is not accepted by certain religions and so forth. It is not, NLP is not hypnotherapy. That's number one. And NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, the brain, linguistic language, the programming. It's really about, there's many different definitions, but it's really about the art of learning. And this is all about you, as well as the art and science of communication. So I want to make sure I clear it up. We're going to go through all of that as well, but just do know that everything that you do is for you and only you, and can be done only by you. Yes or yes, Nivedita?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So tell us your little experience that you had. What are you getting out of these sessions that we're doing? Because you are work in progress as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Last week, Dianne did a whole, I think it was 6 days of processes, 5 days of processes, and each day was different. Each day brought a new facet of knowledge about yourself and a new experience of whatever you needed, your brain and your consciousness needed to experience. And for everybody, it was different. And it showed us where we needed to allow transformation to take place. And when the transformation did take place, it was very tangible and it was quite awe inspiring because some of the methods that were used were just mind blowing. I mean, I had some amazing experiences and some I can't share because they were so very personal. But I remember going into, like, for example, Dianne took us through a theta process. And you remember going into the theta experience and being able to maintain that theta experience and be able to revisit it at any time, where my consciousness was so elevated that there was all the knowledge that I needed to know about the process I was going through was just there at my fingertips. And the experience was so expansive. And it's really well worth being on, even if you only do one of these days. It's such a learning experience and such a gift. So I was very grateful for the processes, and each person that attended received something similar. So it's well worth being on these free days that Dianne allows people to participate in are just well worth it. You can't put a dollar value on these because they're just priceless. So if you're coming, then you're going to get a lot out of these things. If you're not, well, you're going to miss out. So, yeah, I strongly urge everyone to attend at least one.
Well, you guys actually got a gift. We installed 102 affirmations, manifestation affirmations in your theta state in your timeline.
Yes, yes.
That
Very
was,
positive. So the importance of positive information is that you're getting rid of or releasing the negative information. So you're transforming any negative information within your consciousness, in your cells, in your thoughts, your feelings. They're being transformed into positive information, which is really important in this day and age because we're bombarded with negative information. So the positive information is really important. So at some stage, all you're doing is allowing only the positive to come in and not the negative. So you're going to be just a human positive information person. So you're going to radiate all this positive information to all the people you connect with. And it's like the domino effect. It's just, if you're happy, that happiness just sheds on other people. They become happy, they become uplifted. And it's this beautiful domino effect that's very positive and very needed this day and age.
thank you. And for those who are joining us, please leave a comment. We're here with Nivedita, Saraswati, and myself, Dianne Ojar, and we're talking about transformation and the brain and everything else. And, you know, what happened on the weekend? Now, I know you were in another session on the weekend, and that took you to another level, which you've done it before. You've done everything I've done. To tell you the truth, she doesn't miss anything. But that took it to a whole nother state.
Yes. And it was a very interesting state because it was instantaneous and took me to such a state that, it was everything else that was negative remaining. It just seemed to disappear. And the state is easy to get back into, which is really important to know, where you're connecting with that theta state, especially, was just transformative, so transformative.
Now, we did the vision board workshop on the weekend, and believe it or not, a lot of these things are connected. It's not disconnected whatsoever. So the vision board, you learned like you on another level. You see your goals very much different to what it was prior.
It was interesting because I've done a number of vision board processes with you, and I didn't actually draw a vision board this weekend because I'm still processing that system where it's the knowledge, why what makes you tick, why you make decisions, why you can be successful or you can sabotage yourself. And all of these things are so important in your journey that you're on, whether it be for business, whether it be for self transformation, self healing, or whether it be for, doing altruistic work out in the community. It's just makes such a difference. So, to be in the theta state consciously is such a great gift, because until you get into the theta state, you don't really know what it's all about. But when you're in it and you've experienced, then and then you know what you can do with that theta state. And of course, timeline therapy and all the other things that come along. And it's very powerful. And we subconsciously radiate that state once we're really manifesting it.
And it's like I said to people, NLP is timeline therapy is one thing, but you really have to be ready for it because certain things are going to happen, not to skip. And the thing about it too is that we don't really talk much about it because everybody's experience is different. So it's not that we want anybody to expect what's going to happen because they may or may not have the same results, obviously, because it's all individual. This weekend, when we did the vision board, this was not about doing the actual vision board itself, because you all have done vision boards and I saw vision boards that many had did before. But it was actually, sorry, about the process, how you come up with the goals. And that's why we spent a lot of time about actually writing the goals. We dissected it as deep as we can possibly can. And to some, they have to go deeper, and you have homework. They all have homework, although it's only one session, but they still have homework. And once, I don't want them to just go and slap something on there and slap something on there. No, that's not what this is about. This is about really carefully, thoughtfully putting your goals together with many modalities that comes together for us to present this to you. And it was cool. I have fun doing it because I can see the transformation. I know some people get edgy, they get reluctant, they don't want to do it because they're getting uncomfortable to get comfortable. And once you know someone is getting uncomfortable to get comfortable, you know you're in the right path. There's no question about it. Nivedita just breezes through these things. And she said to me that she sees this on, it's like so more advanced because she's done the first part. She's done a lot of transformation and, blueprints and changing things around. So she's seeing things on a different light. She's not the same person she was last week or the week before, last month. So every time she's doing something, like every single one of you will be doing, take yourself to the next level. Do something for yourself to take you to the next level. I guarantee you, I promise you, and I'll put my name on it, you will see things differently. Every time you do a training, it doesn't have to be with me, anything, come in, and what I do with them, I get them to connect with the unconscious mind. I get them to leave everything that they know outside the door. Now, if you play 100%, you will get 100%. But the transformation that we have, and we have many, many, many stories. We have many testimonials. Some of them still coming in. Some of them still processing it, don't even know what to say, and so forth. The reason why we're talking about this today is always have this conversation, Nivedita and myself, even what she's doing with her sessions that she's doing with the soul operation, the weight management, all those things. It comes down to this. It comes down to this, So I am going to take you on. I was just showing the video, so I'm not in the right spot. We're going to be talking about the brain. Now, it doesn't matter what it is you're talking about. Now, this is just a short few clips of what will be happening this Friday coming up. It's complimentary. There is nothing to lose. I guarantee you there's nothing to lose. Come out and learn something and understand. The brain is considered to be, we neglected, and believe it or not, I was shocked when I saw this. 20% of our daily energy is used up by the brain. That is one fifth of your daily energy is used by the brain. So guess what? We need to feed it. We need to rest it. We need to appreciate it. We need to nurture it. If you have problems with your brain, like in the video we talk about memory loss and so forth, memory loss, hair loss, any type of loss, emotions, fear, it is controlled by the brain. So we did the one with the critical thinking because it just happened to present itself to me, talking about the thoughts or the information that we put into our brains, not the rest of the body, the brain. So if you're really interested to understand why these things happen, I have also told Nivedita we don't use the word struggle anymore. We don't use the word stuck because I believe that struggle means that you're constantly just rolling over like a stone. Um, Stuck means like you're stuck, it's harder. But I believe challenges is easier once you work at it to overcome, as well as obstacles and go to obstacle course. But you can go under, go sideways, and so forth. So
Well, the challenges are gifts to learn more.
exactly. So it's a little bit more subtle and there's hope. So rethink about the things that you're thinking about. Rethink about the words that's coming out your mouth. It's so crucial. I can't even begin to explain that to you because the information coming in on the other holistic side of it, we talk about the Shenshiji, which is soul, heart, mind, and body, and is the storage of the information. And I would tell you, your soul, your spirit, your unconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, this is not about religion here, stores a lot of memory from the past that's brought on here. And that's why you're here in this world right now to repair and fix those things to make it a better life for you. But that's a whole nother training. So here's
Having the knowledge of the physiology of the brain and the whole body, which is a miracle, and is very important because people want to know, well, why did this happen? What makes me think this way? They ask the questions: where, why, what, how can I fix this? And this is very important to have this knowledge and the background behind it. So what the physiology of the brain and the body. And as we know, we have 5 elements in the body according to traditional Chinese elements, which we've learned about. And if you haven't learned about it, it's very easy to research. And you know that there are emotions connected with, say, for instance, the liver, the gallbladder, the heart, the small intestine. All of these organs have emotions relating to them. So when we connect with this, yes, and Dianne's going to go through our little friend there. And
Sammy.
yeah, so, and a lot of people don't even know where their different organs lie in their body. So
So
she's
true.
going to show this.
I did
You know,
not know.
think about your
Honestly,
liver, and somebody thinks, and people say, but where's my liver? Well, it's under the right, it's on the right side of the body under your rib cage.
you know
And
what? I did not know who my liver was for until last year. I'm a true lie. Seriously, I didn't know where my spleen was. My spleen
yes,
was right here, around here by your rib cage, somewhere
it's
around
on
here.
the spleen is on the left side.
This is the left. This is the left
Yeah,
of Sammy,
yeah.
and your liver is on this side. This is the right of Sammy. So the
And
liver
then,
is
of course, in different teachings, you have esoteric knowledge about, you can research esoteric knowledge about what, say, for example, the spleen does. Years ago, I studied theosophy, and the spleen was so important because it absorbed all the vitality globules of the sun and stored that energy of the sun in the spleen to distribute around your body when you needed energy in any particular place. But that's more esoteric, you know. It's just amazing. We are just this being that we are is just so miraculous. We relate to all the elements of the earth, you know, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything. We have this relationship that's hidden from us until you start doing the research and gain the knowledge.
Absolutely. And that's another training too as well. And if you're interested in knowing
Absolutely.
more, let us know. Put your comments in there, and Nivedita will do share some knowledge and teachings with us about that, because she's more versed in that too as well. But just to show you, just give you a little brief taste. This is not the whole thing, trust me. 20% of the body's energy supply is used by the brain more than any other organ. Did you know that? Now, people believe the heart is the engine, your brain, the CPU. I have a degree in computer programming, trust me, and I never use it. But all these things are coming back because we're looking at our brain as a computer. Like, seriously, your brain is a computer. The
And
computer
it has all the programs in it, including the programs that maybe not 100% running perfectly. And
absolutely.
yeah.
And we talk about, the decimal, the 0 and the 1. The brain works the same way. So it controls, just going to go through this quickly. This is a few slides, it is considered to be one of the most complex, you can read it for yourself, a complex organ in the center operation for the whole body. Listen to this. Listen, Linda. Understand this. This is the reason why we're doing this. Before you can go to anything and you talk about trauma and you talk about, challenges and you talk about I'm stuck and I can't do this and when am I going to pay my rent, you got to understand this. This is about manifestation, but we're not going to talk too much about that. Goals setting, we're not going to talk too much about that. This is just about you understanding how you got to reprogram your mind. When a computer breaks down, you got to fix it. It's the same thing with the brain. Now, if you have something like your brain, which you're going to call a CPU, is controlling your thinking, your memory, your feelings, your intelligence, and your actions. Hello? Do you not believe? Listen, people don't kill people. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Okay? We know that. People hurt people. All right? If you don't take care of your brain, what do you expect for it to happen? You're undernourishing your brain by food, by the things you put in it, the thoughts. And so you're damaging. Nobody can damage your brain than you. Now, yes, let me rephrase that. Other things that you come in association and negative, I believe the word negative information is what people don't understand.
Like watching too
crap,
much news,
the
watching
crap, propaganda, all that stuff that you're putting in and say, you have to remember, they do this for a reason. People will hear all about the bad stuff, but the good stuff, you very rarely hear about it. And the good stuff is what makes it like, good for that person. They did something. But no, the bad stuff, we love drama. We love to sleep with drama. We love to swim through drama. We just love and feel good about drama because there's things, and we're going to talk about the different types of chemicals that it sends off in our body, which is not the good ones. Cortisol, for example. Dopamine is actually the happy one. Cortisol, not the happy one. You're going to learn all of these things. So we will go through this step by step as best as we can for you to understand this. This is complimentary. There's no cost to this, right? There are other sessions that I can work with you on Nivedita in terms of the elephant in the room, the timeline therapy, how to goal setting, how to even create a goal. We're even talking about the vision board. All these things have to do with if you want success in any part of your life, relationship, health, wealth, your family, your career. This is what this is about. You expect somebody to do this for you? Your brain is not in their body.
Exactly.
So I went and I got this beautiful book. Oh my God, the thing is so heavy. This is an actual Forgive me because I had to take pictures of the book, and it's a big book. So to get the best, this is actual scan of the brain pathway. It is fascinating when you see it. I was like a kid in a candy store. These are the things here. If you get your screen, if you make your screen full, you might see the picture a little bit better. So we have all these different parts of the brain, and it functions, their functions, what it does as well. We talk about the long term and the short term memory. Don't fuss too much about the terminology. Just know that there are parts of the brain that has stores long term memory, short term memory, affects emotions. That's all you need to know. And all you need to know is that you need to be careful what emotions. So, for example, I don't believe I have it in these slides because there's only a few I just picked out. You know, the brain is it's symmetric. It does a symmetry in the brain. The left and the right is very similar. So you got to understand, but it doesn't behave the same way. Now, did you know? This is a tip. Most of you know that the left brain controls the right side of your body, and the right side controls the left side. Right, the left side. When you have a stroke, you always wonder why it's the opposite side of the brain. That's the reason why. And if that's the only thing you heard here today, you'll understand that. Now, to get into further detail, you need to, go do your own homework. Now, the brain it does a lot of multitasking, different areas. These are actual images that I took shots. So your pictures may not be straight because it's trying to hold a book to do it. But what I'm saying to you is this, my hope for this session is to going to open your eyes. Now, the part that you see that on the right side there with the light bulb, the second image, the light bulb, that is the most important part of the brain. This is the control center. This whole thing is a control center. But that second light bulb on the right side in the green is where is the most in all of this. So what we're talking about today is what I want you to focus. The other parts is the music, your artsy and so forth. And that's the right side of the brain. So this is what we want to talk about. And this is where the emotion, because this is what we're talking about, emotions. Now, when we're talking about the patterns, the brain cells, right? The way it functions is that it's forming a memory, right? It's coming together like a memory, as you can see on the left side of this picture. And on the right side of the picture, like I said, I just skip along. On the right side, where it actually brings more information, neurotransmitters and so forth together to form this pattern. And, we talk about sleep. There's a lot of images here. I just happened to just pick a few. So we want to change, want to share with you so much. And we're going to go in detail. We're talking about 2 hours about learning the brain. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and research it. At the end of the day, I want you to stop and say to yourself, oh my gosh, what have I been doing to myself? When you're smoking and you're bringing that smoke in your brains and clogging up your brains, yes, your lungs are affected, but the smoke is also affected. The cloudiness, all these things, what we're talking about. This is complementary. If you're interested to know more, send us a message, send us a comment, and we'll post it in the comments as well. We invite you to come out and to do this with us. Yes, we're going to share things with you, how we can work with you. And Nivedita we'll talk about, like I said, the timeline therapy and so forth. How on this working with the brain, like you had mentioned before, but now as I see something, how understanding this more do you understand? Well, You know a lot more about the brain and the body than anybody knows, as far as I am concerned. So, seeing this after what I was showing you a bit earlier, in terms of the sessions we've done, how did this help you have a better understanding, or maybe you have more awareness? Well, you already had it. It's not like you didn't know it, but do you have more awareness about the information that you already knew, that you didn't probably know what to do with it or how it works? Or maybe you're just sitting there like all the textbooks and everything else that we have, because you were telling me you've done a lot of training in a lot of areas.
Yes, I think as you go on with life and you gain more experience, like everything you do is locked away in your brain. Your brain is this great capacity for a storage area, and it pops out the information when it's needed or when it's the memory is jogged. Um, and it's like little light bulbs going off, and it's for me, I've noticed that, like, I studied a lot of things over the years in my life, and I studied theosophy for about 13 years. So it was a lot of esoteric stuff there with, angels and masters and things like that. And then on the other hand, when I studied kinesiology, that's when I got really interested in the brain and the neural pathways and how the brain communicates with the right brain and the left brain through this little band of white substance, which is called the corpus callosum, so that all the neurons go floating between the two and they're communicating with each other. Because sometimes the brain, especially if you're in stress, it can just disengaged, and then your right brain's not knowing not what your left brain's thinking, etc. And so it's like it builds a cohesion for yourself. The more you investigate what the soul of the body consists of, and I say soul because we have a soul and that governs the whole body. We have the body soul and we have the Yuan Shen, which is the original soul. The Yuan Shen connects you to your higher self, and the body soul is the one that connects you to everything that's physical. So this is why it's really important to love yourself, and love is the main ingredient of healing most things, like loving your cells, loving your atoms, loving any organ that's not cooperating with you as well as you'd like to. If your brain is not cooperating very well, you must love those cells in your body. And it's like the quantum science that is taught by Master Rulin, who is a quantum physicist. And she says that in the quantum field, we have everything already available to us. So by just tapping into these practices that we do in many ways, there's so much out there that we can practice and do. And to gain more knowledge is really important, because if you don't know, then you don't know. If you don't know about many things, such as spiritual things, quantum things, being in the quantum field and having your own innate ability to heal yourself, then how can you not heal yourself?
Absolutely. And when we say the word heal here, we're talking about there's two definitions to healing I'm going to say here. One, yes, we are healers. We have a beautiful gift that we can work with people to help them get on the right path, get back on track, and you have to do your part, obviously. And we cannot guarantee anything, and it's always we results oriented. We know it's happening every day. People connect with us. We all have that ability, even you guys as well. However, it's something you have to be certified and go through some training, because you got to know how to use the gifts and talents that you have. That's one side of it. The other side of it is the funny thing in NLP, I cannot say I'm a healer. On the Dow hands, I could say I'm a healer, but I really don't mix the two up when I'm training with my clients. It depends on what I need to do, because some of them may resonate with on the holistic, the spiritual side, and some of them don't understand any of that. But at the end of the day, what you can do for yourself is you can heal yourself. You can always say you can heal yourself. And don't dismiss that. That is so powerful. You have no idea. Don't take it lightly whatsoever. Now, if you want to go on that trip with us, come and see what we do. We, because at the end of the day, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And all it's about, you're talking about relationship, we're talking about career, we're talking about health, we're also talking about business. All of this applies to all areas of your life. You have to have a balanced life. You have, self-development, you have your family, all these things are balanced. The brain, what you put in there for it to process is going to affect all these areas. So what does that mean? Come out and learn something more. Do your homework. Don't take my word for it. Come out. Open the consciousness. Be open. After we did that critical thinking session, which, by the way, it came from nowhere, but I'm not going to go that way how it came. Some of you may not understand that. It fascinated me, and I got Sammy, and I got the stuff, and I'm looking for very specific, and I know when I see it, a model of a brain, so I can show you inside the brain better. Because to me, it was a light bulb that opened up and say, holy crap, what am I doing? What are we all doing? We're not nourishing our brain with what we're supposed to nourish it. Do you know that your conscious mind is about 10%, and we use it every day? Our unconscious mind is like 90% and underutilized. Did you know that? And that's what the information is. The logical thinking, when we overthink, and the monkey mind, this is the monkey mind, consciousness. We got to stop the bloody monkey mind. That's where it draws us into drama, all these things. So learn about how the brain functions. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Let's say you're running a race. Okay? You're running a race and you won. Awesome. Then, Nivedita, you know what? I ran this race, and guess what? I won. Now, the actual event, that's one installation. Then I tell Nivedita, and I tell all you guys. And she said, awesome. You know what? So what's happening? We're building up that memory. And we're feeling good. Okay? We feel good and so forth. And like we talk about the part. This is really crucial. So listen to this. As simple as it sounds. We're talking about it, and the more she talks about it, I say, great job, and how did you do this and this, and then you come along and you join in the conversation, and you come along and you come along and this one come along, and we're creating a memory.
And we're also releasing all these good cells, the endorphins.
Right. Now those endorphins, then as we go back and we look at the trophy, or we look at the ribbon, and we revisit that's the memory, right? And you make you feel good. Oh my goodness, no whatever. However, the flip side, and then all the dopamines and the endorphins, it's a happy moment. Where there's a up, there's a down. Where there's a yin, there's a yang, right? Let's say we're in a relationship. We had a fight. Nivedita, you know what? XYZ. And you would say, no, it's ABC. And we're back and forth. That's the event. Then somebody will come out and say to you and say, no. Dianne said this and that. What does she know? And da, 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 da. Somebody will come and say, no. Nivedita, da, da, da. We're installing and we're growing that memory, that event. You may have given me something. You may have given me this B. And every time I see this bee, I'm going to remember Nivedita. And I'm going to remember the quarrel or the fight. And the revisit. And it's like, no, what is wrong with her? No, what? No, forget it. What does she know? And we just make it. Nobody did terminology, we make a mountain of a molehill. And it grows and it grows. And this is what we're talking about. This is what we're saying. And that's where the memory comes in. The more you visit, that's why you have to disconnect. If you no longer have a relationship with someone, and you know it's never going to be repaired for whatever reason for the moment, because you're not to say, and two wrongs don't make a right. And you're not here to be right. Because you both can be right. But when you visit this emotion, or the triggers, which is the elephants, I call it, the triggers, it's going to trigger off the feeling, the down feeling, the sad feeling. I'm not going to use the word negative and positive anymore. We're going to get real. The feelings like, you know what, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should say sorry. But your pride is saying, no. I got my pride. Whatever. This is what we're talking about. The brain is processing this in certain parts of your mind. You have to know where that is happening in the brain. So once you are conscious of how you are the one destroying your brain by what you put into it. Now, don't get me wrong. Society has, I don't want to put blame, but we've been conditioned by our, parents, our environment, but they did the best they can do. Now we're smarter than that. At our age, we're smart enough to know that, yes, we have a brain and that we can use it. And we could use it properly. So you can go out there and buy anything you want. All the training, all the healing, all the, therapists or whatever. If you really want to do something, you need to know how to change the DNA in you. Reprogram your mind. Take out the stuff. In timeline therapy, we remove what we call the gestalts: anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. In that unlimiting decisions. And there are a few others. But that 5 particular, very much in particular, it means something. By the time you get to the anger, you've taken a lot away. Sadness, by the time you get to fear and so forth, your body is much lighter because it's releasing the emotions attached to the event in this life and past lives or whenever it happened. This is power. Nivedita, you've gone through this.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. And the reason I'm focusing on this is the fact that we want to now open up your consciousness. Now, we will be doing sessions with Nivedita kinesiology as well. But if you don't understand none of this, it makes no sense. Go spend your money. Hey, be my guest. Go spend it. I know people who've been abused and so forth for 50 God something years and more, beyond that. And the young people and so forth who's been abused. And they go into therapists or they bipolar or ADHD or whatever the story is. But what's happening is that you're sitting there and you want somebody to listen to you. Hello, we listen to you. That's it. One-time fluff. You can fluff all the fluff you want. After that, did you remember all the craziness that went, the emotions after by the time you were finished with us, with me? Did you remember it?
No. Things shifted so quickly. When I did the elephant, it made such an amazing positive shift, which was quite miraculous and something that had bugged me since childhood. And once the elephant was identified, hit the nail on the head, then there were so many other shifts that were like it's like dominoes, getting shifts upon shifts upon shifts. Everything affected everything else in a positive way. So, and that is what it's like, a wave, the positive wave that comes through the whole body, through the life, the timeline, through everything. It's just an amazing experience to experience it.
I think it's interesting that you bring that up because I'm going to say something. You talk about the lifetime. I am saying to you, the memory is one, the emotions is another. It does not mean that that memory was never triggered off in a different session, because it has.
Mm.
But her reaction now to how she would react then is very different.
Yes,
The memory
absolutely.
will come up because, remember, we're going to the root cause, the root. So you have to take out the layers and the layers and layers. You will not possibly, because there's so many layers, you're not ready for fireworks. Not everybody's ready for fireworks. But now you know when because I know it came up when we have conversation. It's so happen when it comes to business. Well, let me rephrase that. Come to money or finance. This is one of the big ones that people don't believe that they're worthy, because we've been told that. You know,
Not good enough. Yeah.
so money is the root of all evil. Hello, money is not the root of all evil. What how is money going to be the root of all evil? It is what you do with the money. You want to go squander the thing? Well, let me tell you something. We had talked about luck. One of the questions and goals was about luck. Is there luck? There are people who are, but here's the thing. Um, we wouldn't go into this. We talk about karma. You have all these things. If you are given a gift of $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, what you do with it, somebody will go and spend it. I'll tell you a true story. When I was at the bank, there was this guy who was in jail, and he just came out of jail, and he had his letter, and we don't know what to do. He gave me the letter, and he came into inheritance. It's a true story. And what he did, he every day came to the bank to take out money, more or less. Everybody was hanging around him because he was going back in jail. Apparently, he was just on parole. And just how it came, just so it went, and everybody was around him. But there's nothing we can do about it because it's his money. It was legit. Found that out. He didn't care because he knew he was going back. But my understanding. Now imagine your parents worked so hard to put that away, and in a flash, I don't believe it was a month, less than a month, or a couple of weeks, it was all gone. So some people, given, yes, they can be lucky, but what do you do with the luck? It's not the luck, it's the gift and the appreciation for it. So all I'm saying to you right now is take care of your body, take care of your brain, understand why these things are happening to you. If you don't know, book a call with me, book a call with Nivedita. We have consultation complimentary. We have complimentary events. And if you want to take it further, I'm online. There's an investment. If you really want this, and the results, we're results oriented. We're not here to drag it and drag it and drag it. They'll still be doing things after and after and after as well. We have conflict resolution. We have, validating values and all those things. All I'm saying to you is let's start with the brain. So, Nivedita, I know I've been talking and talking for a while. So, I get passionate when I start talking about it. That's why Sammy is here too.
Yes, everything that Dianne says is perfectly true. And to be holistically involved is really important, because being in a holistic state of mind brings everything together, no matter what the healing processes are. It's all about loving yourself, knowing that you're here for a purpose. And when you find that your purpose can be just a simple thing like, doing gardening and giving the vegetables away to those who are, um, in the community that are not able to feed themselves is something very precious. And that might be what your dharma might be for the life. And the dharma in the Indian tradition is your life path. And so when you start aligning with your life path, things change for you. So things change for the better. So there's a very special teaching in one of Master Shah's books. Master Shah is my teacher, and talks about the Tien Ming. And the Tien Ming is this very special soul that sits in your consciousness. And what that has is got the blueprint for your life, what you're meant to do with your life. Excuse me. And when you find out what your purpose is, then you can live that purpose and be congruent to in every aspect of your life. Your life will go really, really well. Everything that you've ever wanted will come into being, and you will have this peaceful heart and soul, which is really important to have. And for many of us, to have a peaceful heart and soul is the most important thing to do, because when that's happening, that means you're in alignment with everything that you're meant to be doing. And everything that leads us to that direction is so valid and important.
Yeah, and you know what? You're talking about the gardening on a physical, let's say on the physical side of it. Even just doing the gardening stimulates the mind and the dopamine and the endorphins. And you're doing those things. You're cooking, you're dancing, you're in the shower. All those things are healthy for the brain. The music, listening to soft music, loud music kind of damages your eardrums and so forth. But there's a lot of energy that comes with very loud music. That's why people are very expressive. The way they depends on, like, if you're doing heavy metal rock, you may dress different, you may look different. So all these things affect your mood.
Yes.
And your mood swings. And you wonder why people ADHD. ADHD basically means that somebody is really, very highly skilled, intelligent, and they're just bored to death. It's trying to put a square in a hole, in a circle. Sorry, it may not fit if it's small. It's these type of thing. Bipolar, yes, it does mean there's some chemical shifts, but I can guarantee you and tell you this with confidence, that there's certain things you can do, because I know the B12, for example, by sublingual by B12, it goes straight to the bloodstream, can help the mood swings with the bipolar and ADHD and so forth. So there's things you can do to start getting some control, and then you can do the rest. So I want to say, come out and join us. Yes, we have the spiritual side, but before we get to the spiritual side, understand what meditation is about. Not the fact that we're going to talk about spirituality. Meditation just basically means controlling your body through breathing, connecting. If you want to find out more about meditation to take it another level, fine. If you don't want to use the word meditation, just learn how to belly breathe like a baby. I like to bring things back to reality in a simplified part of it. And if you're ready for the next step, yeah, we could talk about spirituality. Yes, we could talk about all those things. She's an expert in the yoga and so forth. But before we even get to there, because we're talking general to everybody here, learn how a baby breathes. A baby breathes through the belly. If you don't understand and you don't believe in anything we're saying, just learn how to breathe. You'll be surprised how the breathing is one of the keys to helping your whole body. How could you be in a negative emotion when you're breathing very gently? How is that even possible? So if you spend time just in the garden, or you just spend time with a book, and by the way, when you sit there and you read in a book, you're focused, you're hypnotizing yourself. You watch a movie. Now, I like action movies regardless of what. I don't look at it for the swearing, I don't look at it for the action, but it's just, it is what it is. When I looked at Lost in Space, that robot, I was fascinated by him. He was so cute, And when his hands broke off and it came back together, think of that like the brain. You know, stop whatever you're doing and start taking care of your garden. Think of your brain as your garden. Go and uproot the plants that no longer is the weeds, which is all the crap in there. Plant new seedlings, ones that you like, ones that you know would nourish you, flourish you. Oh, I'm going to use that from now on. Your brain is like your garden. Prune it, fork it up, put the mulch, all these things. This
I
is,
think that's a really great analogy, actually.
yeah, you brought it up. Thanks to you. But seriously, you can't. That's one of we always talk about the butterfly and the cocoon, but your brain is a garden. It has different parts of it. You have you can make it into a maze. You can have your landscaping. You can have it, and from your brain you can go and physically create that garden.
And it's
Seriously,
so important to take time to be creative, like doing artwork or doing music or
you're an artist as well. You're an artist as well. We wouldn't
yeah.
even. You should see some of the stuff that she does. And this is help for therapy. But really and truly, use your brain and think of it as your garden. And just how you want that garden to be, you can physically take it. Of course, it's an analogy. Take that garden in your brain and put it out there and create a physical garden and connect. And you will see what can happen. I will guarantee you, if you in that garden and someone comes and want to, you will so fast shut them out because this is your sanctuary. This is your space. No, no, no. I'm in my garden. Leave me in my garden. I guarantee you, you will see what will happen. Your life will transform. Now, I'm not saying fireworks, okay? There's a lot of work to do. But I guarantee you, that would be beginning. Why? Because you started with your brain. You're going to hear a lot about brain and me coming up soon. I'm telling you. If we don't master this, how are we going to master the rest of it? We'll talk about the heart. We'll talk about the liver. We'll talk about all those things down the road. But your brain is your CPU. It's your computer. You can't do without your phone, right? You can't do without your phone. This is your brain. Isn't that true? We treat these things like they're our brain.
Well, an extension of your brain, yeah, because it's got a lot of memory in it.
Well, no, we believe everything is in here. We don't write things anymore. Your calendar is here. Everything is in here. This is another analogy. This is what we call our brain. We've heard people. This little thing on a identity theft side of it, you'd be surprised. People put their life in this and you lose this. You know what could happen? You could do your banking, your scan, everything now. When we talk about identity theft and fraud, people never realize the phone is a computer. They think about their desktop and their laptop. It's like, oh, my information is there. No, your information is here. Even if it's on the cloud, that's another story. You can get defrauded. Just like they're talking about today with Apple. There's 2 viruses going around today. If you're an iPhone, you have an iPhone, Apple product, you need to do an update today. It's a big security breach. Just added that on. So the brain, the CPU, that's a computer. Let's start there.
So would you like to share a little bit more about the workshop?
Yes, it's happening this Friday on Zoom. So you can go.
Which is Saturday for Australia.
Yeah, well, it's sorry, I have to think of the date now. It's the what is the Friday? The 26th Eastern Standard Time, and it's of course, in Australia is Saturday. I'm not sure what time, whatever Nivedita said there.
What time did you say it was? I'll just look it up.
It is, oh, I forgot, number 6 or 7 o'clock. I can't remember. I know, I think
Okay.
it's 7 o'clock. I believe it's 7 o'clock just because it's easier for people who have to work as well. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but I'll put
Oh,
the
so it's
on
9
it.
o'clock in the morning.
So, and it's 2 hours.
Yes.
It's 2 hours there, and you may
9
have some.
o'clock Melbourne time.
That's correct. So also there will be a link to go to Eventbrite to register. There is no cost for it. And if you feel after you want to find out more and you want to understand more how you can we can I can help you and Vita or whoever this can help you, um, please let us know. Let me know. We have the elephant in the room. If you're not feeling well, we also have the blessings we can do. We can teach you things. I can teach you things. So all I'm saying is just be open minded. Come and learn about your brain. It's your brain. You owe it to your brain. If you're brain dead, you're dead. Not to be negative, but if you're brain dead, you're dead. Your rest of your body does. You may be breathing on a ventilator because if you're brain dead, that's what they do to give you life support. You cannot be brain dead and breathe on your own. Is that correct, Navavita?
I think so. I'm
You
pretty
have to
sure
be on life support.
that.
So
Yes.
if your brain is dead, you're dead. And one thing and I'll tell you this from experience, my grandmother has been in comas. My father had strokes. Um, I'm diabetic. Most of my family's diabetic. I saw my doctor today. And, here's the thing. I have the tools and resources to help myself to reverse my diabetes. It's just that, making excuses. But I'm telling you, after what I'm doing, yeah, Dianne's going to smarten up because this medication and me nonsense, no, it's going to be more disciplined. And it's a wake up call. And this is why I do these things because it's educating myself and educating you. And we have to share what we know.
Exactly.
Now, I know people are temporal epilepsy. As you grow, your memory, you lose memory unless you make your mind active and nourish it. You can preserve those brains.
This is how the plasticity happens.
Right. Dementia and so forth. You just got to be careful. So on that note, I can go on whole night about this, as you know. So on that note, if you have any questions and you want to find out more and you want to join us, bring your friends and family. They all have to register. There's no cost to you. We will be offering things down the road how to you work with us, work with me in particular, because I'm hosting it. But I'm saying to you is just do something for goodness sake. Nivedita knows a lot more than me, and she's done all of it to get her to the next level, to get better and better, for me to get better and better, for you to get better and better. That's all I can say. So I want to say, Nivedita, thank you. Nivedita, you probably should host an event about kinesiology as well at some point in time, and we can talk more about that and so forth. So on that note, I want to say, do you have anything to say before we go? Let's wrap it
No,
up.
I've just loved this session, and I think it's just so informative and valuable for people to think about and to join because they will learn a lot, they will gain a lot, and everything is a pure expression. So I think it's time for people to step up if they want to see shifts in their consciousness.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Step up. They need to wake up, is what they need to do. Wake up.
Yeah,
Again, use all your senses. Use your senses to help yourself.
that's right, because you are your own self-healer.
Your body is not going to steer you wrong. Your unconscious mind, your spirit, your soul is not going to steer you wrong. Your unconscious mind is there to protect you, to store memories and all that stuff like a filing cabinet. But if it doesn't see that you're doing anything, it's not going to give you what you need to help you. So what you need to do is wake up, tap into what you have. And if you want to know how to do that, and if you can't wait until Friday and you want to find out more, just reach out to me, Nivedita, but reach out and we will talk more about that. But I always say to people, and Nivedita knows this, don't put it off for tomorrow. Do what you can do today. This is an investment in you. It's not costing you a penny for Friday, but if you want to do things down the road, yes, we can talk about that. And yes, there's investment for that, but I can tell you it is worth it. She's a living example, and there are many others living example. I'm telling you, I don't know what else to say to you, but just show up. And if you're registering, please show up. And if you can't register, if you don't, you have no intentions of coming, don't register. Oh, and by the way, there's no recording. I mean, sorry, there's a recording, there's no replay. So you're there, you're there. You're not there.
Yes, take the opportunity for the gift when it arises. It's very important.
Well, it's the other reason why, because of sensitivity of the information, the people there, because sometimes they're sharing and so forth.
Yeah, that's why there's no recording.
And it's just that, you know what, if you really want something, you will, it's a discipline. You will find any which way to show up, like you do. Like this girl does not. Only if you're teaching yoga, but she shows up to every single thing. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Everything is so valuable.
Yeah. So on that note, I hope this helped and it triggered off something in your brain, because we're planting information there. Go start working in your mental garden and, clean up what needs to clean up. Start, you can start by cleaning your kitchen, start by cleaning your rooms. That's all part of the process. And start by, taking a checklist and say, okay, no, this one, no, this person, no, 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 no. I'm not going to deal with that drama. And I'm
happy gardening.
Happy gardening. Happy gardening. So on that note, I want to say thank you all so much for hanging around and, listening to me and Nivedita. And this is for you. And
thank you, everyone.
It's going to be for the rest of your life. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much. Have an awesome day.
And hopefully see you on Saturday.
On Saturday, and invite a friend or two. Okay? Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.